Vanakkam. Today we are going to see another very interesting topic. How much gold, how much jewelries, how much gold ornaments that one can have at your home. This is the topic. And apart from that, what are the other important transactions that are related to gold holding limit? Also, I'm going to discuss here. And before going to the presentation, I want to give you a statement that whatever that is being explained by me here is my view only. For the detailed discussion, please refer Income Tax Act of 1961 with reference to gold holding limit. So this is a $1 million question. How many sovereigns, how many grams of gold one can have at your home? So this is a very, very interesting point, so that you will not, if you are violating that, then you will be caught by the provisions of Income Tax Act of 1961. What government says? So previously, there is one act called Gold Control Act of 1968. It has prohibited the citizens of India, and it said that you can hold only this much of gold, and beyond that, you are not supposed to hold that gold. And now that act is abolished. And now there is no limit at all. So you can have any weightage of gold, any number of grams of gold at your home. But there are some restrictions are also there. It is clearly stated. This is a base income tax notification. That is the notification dated 11/5/1994. That is being issued by CBDT, and it gives instructions. And the same is being endorsed by the other notification dated 1/12/2016. So this both these notifications are still on hold, and with this only the gold holding limit at home is defined. How much of the gold you can have, and not legalized. So this holding statement say that it is not going to legalize the ownership of gold ornaments or jewelry. That means if any income tax department has gone on a survey or raid, then if they catch hold of some jewelry at the home, at the house of the person or at the office, then that means that it is not the ownership that is being legalized. It is the holding that is being reflected in their report. So CBDT has already issued a notice to the income tax officer or the officer who are in search not to confiscate a gold jewelry or ornaments, but only you can confiscate the jewelry, gold jewelry and ornaments, only when it goes beyond the limit as set in the notification. This is a very, very important thing. So Gold Control Act of 1968 is abolished, and now the gold holding limit is controlled by the income tax notification dated 11/5/1994, and again it's being noted by another notification of 1/12/2016 as issued by the CBDT. Now the notification applies to whom? It applies only to gold jewelry and ornaments. So that means it's only an ornament, it's only jewelry, it is applicable. It is not applicable to other form of gold like gold coin, bullion. It is not applicable. So even it is not applicable to the diamonds also. So this notification of 11/5/1994, it applies only to gold jewelry and ornaments. It is not applicable to gold coin or bullion. And there's a limit. So you can have the gold jewelry or ornaments at your home without giving any evidence, without giving any declaration to anyone. But you have to declare the same thing in your income tax return and wealth tax return. Now there is no wealth tax, so you have to declare the same thing in the income tax return. That is in the balance sheet. You should hold you have to mention the jewelry and ornaments that is in your hand, but you need not produce any evidence. There is a limit. And they say that married women, So they have classified, one is married woman and unmarried woman. So married woman in a family, you can have 500 grams, that is half kg of gold. You can have half kg of gold jewelry and ornaments. You can, without declaration, you can have. And unmarried woman, they can hold 250 grams, that is quarter kg of gold, that is permitted. So here they put the difference between marital status, that is married woman and unmarried woman. And with reference to men, per man you can have 100 grams. So everything you have to say that it is a per married woman at the family, unmarried woman at the family, man the home, that is he can hold per man 100 grams irrespective of the marital status. These are three things that you have to remember. This is the base based on which that 1994 notification has clearly said married woman can have 500 grams of gold jewelry and ornaments, and unmarried woman can have 250 grams of gold jewelry and ornaments, and men can have 100 grams. This is the three things that you have to bear in mind. Here, suppose if you receive this jewelry, ornaments, gold jewelry and ornaments by way of inheritance, there is no limit, because the thing is you have to prove the source. So the above said this 500 grams, 250 grams, and 100 grams. That means you can say that I have self-acquired. Suppose in case if you obtain the same thing by way of inheritance, there is no limit you can have. But received by will, suppose if you have received any ornaments, any jewelry of gold, if you receive by will, there is no limit. Any quantity of grams you can have gold jewelry and ornaments. And even received during the season, there are court decisions are available. If it is received during the marriage, it is permitted. It is permitted. So there is no limit. There are various court decisions are there. So in that you can have the limit. Here, who is called as woman? That is point number 1 and 2. It says that woman. Woman means who are eligible to get married and not a girl child. So this is what I want to say about the meaning of woman with reference to jewelry. Woman means who is eligible to get married and not a girl child. So this is the basic thing that you should know. And now this is this holding I can explain with an example. See, totally during the raid they found 1,425 grams. And as per the notification of 1994, a married woman can have half kg, maximum is half kg, but the married woman has got only 400 grams. Unmarried has got 250. Yes, quarter kg, that is permitted. Man 100, yes, 100 grams. Man 2 also 100 grams, it is permitted. But through will, they have got the gold jewelry and ornaments to the tune of 350 grams. And total eligible for that family is 1,200 grams. But in case if during the raid, if they found 1,425 grams, so the income tax department can seize up to 225. In case, in the same example, in case of married woman, if the grams value is 600 grams, so only 500 is eligible, 100 grams can be confiscated. This is only an example for easy understanding I have given here. And there is no limit of gold ornaments and jewelry with the source. Suppose if you have produced evidence that I have purchased the gold through this source, so without limit, you can have any grams of gold jewelry and ornaments. And bullion, for it's a very, very important thing for bullion, even if it is 100 grams, you have to produce the source of the purchase, where you have purchased, and from which source you have purchased. Everything that you have to explain with reference to bullion. And purchase bills have to be kept with the evidence, and it should be clearly attached with the invoice. So this is a very, very important thing. Say the purchase bill should be kept. The source of purchases, from where? What are the? And just I have given some important source of purchase of gold ornaments and jewelry by way of savings, by way of jewel loan, and other types of loan. You can get a loan from banks. You can get a loan from your friends and relatives. That source also you can use it, but you have to get the thing through account by check, and you are in a position to explain the actual source. And other sources like by way of gift, by sale of some immovable property, also that property after paying capital gain tax, you can use it to buy the gold ornament, but everything has to be clearly proved, and your source of purchase should be clearly explained, and by way of exchange and sale of gold jewelry. And if you are doing this, and if you are having the gold ornaments and jewelry, you must keep records. This is also permitted source. Suppose if you are doing old jewelry and getting new jewelry, so for that you have to keep the records. And no evidence is produced in case if you are with the assessee, if he is not able to produce the evidence of purchase, then there will be scope for search and seizure raid as per section 132 of the Income Tax Act. And the seizure at the time, I say here, that is one case where it is stated that, say, it is our family tradition that we have to keep this jewelry. We are not bothered about the weight and everything. And it is left to the discretion if the declaration is given by the assessee during the raid, and if the same is being accepted by the person, by the officer who has gone for the search, then it is left to the discretion of the ITO. Either he can confiscate or he can leave the same thing with the family, but the same thing he has to record in his findings. And the same thing you have to report in. This is a very, very important thing, that assessee must report the quantity of gold and for what you have purchased and from which source you have purchased. Everything you have to submit in the income tax return. If it is not submitted, then the income tax officer during the aid, if he founds the same, then the income tax officer, he can levy penalty, and as well as he can also collect the income tax from the party, saying that you have understated your income because you are not proved, you are not produced the evidence to purchase the jewelry. And is it safe? Now I am going in the general thing about the thing. Here I want to say that once again I'll repeat, to what extent your family, what extent you can have a gold jewelry and ornaments at your home. For married women, it is half kg or 500 grams. For unmarried women, it is quarter kg or 250 grams. For men, 100 grams, irrespective of the marital status. Now I am going to the general topic of gold. Is it safe to have keep the gold at your home? No, because sometimes you may be out of the station. It is very difficult to safeguard everything. So sale of gold, normally when any thief who has entered your home, he can stolen your gold jewelry and ornaments. He can sell it because the sale of gold is the easiest way to raise the funds. So it is not safe to have all gold at your home. So unused, just my advice, unused jewels must be kept in a bank locker. For that, you have to follow the locker rules as released by the RBI recently. So you have to keep all the unused jewels in a bank locker. Or sometimes some people, what they are doing, suppose if they are going out, they go to the bank because they are not having the locker. So for locker every year you have to pay 5,000 rupees or 6,000 rupees as rent. So in order to avoid that, suppose if they are going for some 2 days or 3 days, what they do, they took the jewelry and they went to the bank. So just they are giving some 20 sovereigns of gold, or then they used to avail jewel loan, say to the tune of 15,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees. When they return, they pay that 15,000 rupees with some interest, and they got back the jewelry. This is also another way of keeping the gold very safely. And now gold at locker. Here also there are principles. If the gold, suppose during the raid, we can say during the raid, if the income tax department that, yeah, when during raid, the income tax department has approached the banker that this is a limit. jewelry and ornaments, if you are placed in a single locker, then that jewel belongs to that individual only. Okay, in case all the family members' jewels have been kept in a locker, single locker, then you have to mention a list. This jewelry belongs to this guy. This jewelry belongs to this guy, because the identification of the jewelry is very much important. So my advice is you have to go with a joint holding. That is the main suggestion. So even every family member's jewels can be kept at a single locker, but this is not advisable. But you can have a locker with the joint family, joint ownership. Now you are selling the gold ornaments and jewelry. What is the effect? If you are holding the jewelry and ornament, gold jewelry and ornaments for more than 36 months, you have to pay long-term capital gain, and with the capital and indexation at the rate of 20%, and without capital indexation, you can pay at 10%. In case if it is less than 36 months, it's a short-term capital gain. So you have to be charged in the normal rates. Suppose, in case if the sovereign gold loans are, if you are holding more than 36 months, as usual, it is with the capital indexation at 20%, without capital indexation 10%. No tax will be levied. The bond holds, that is the SGB, sovereign gold bonds, are there still it matures. So no tax will be levied. And if he holds less than 36 months, then short-term capital gain is attracted. Now you are going to buy the gold. What are the things that you can do it? So up to 2 lakhs you can buy by way of making the cash payment. And if it is after beyond the 2 lakhs, if you are making the if you want to buy a gold jewelry or ornaments, you have to pay your PAN, and the payment must be by way of account pay transactions, so account pay DD, account pay check, NEFT, RTGS, or any other electronic mode. You buy the gold jewelry and ornaments. How much one can purchase? Yeah, with a reliable source, with the source which you are able to explain, you can buy any quantity of gold ornaments and jewelry. And digital gold is also possible now recently. So but your thing is you have to pay GST. And as usual, if the digital gold value exceeds 2 lakhs, regular norms are applicable. Any quantity of gold you can purchase. And sovereign gold bonds, maximum limit is up to 4 kgs per individual per annum. You can buy. And in case a gold is brought into India by Indian passenger, an Indian passenger was gone abroad, he is coming to India, what is the quantity of gold he can brought into India? So we can bring into the Indian passenger residing abroad for 1 year. So that Indian passenger should reside outside India for over 1 year. Then free of duty, he can bring the jewelry to India. So there is also ceiling. Suppose it is a gentleman passenger, he can bring up to 20 grams of value or 50,000, whichever is less. 50 grams of value, 20 grams of value, or 50,000, whichever is less. In case if it's a women passenger or lady passenger, she can bring up to 40 grams or the value of less than 1 lakh. Or we can say that value of 40 grams, up to 40 grams or 1 lakh, whichever is less, they can bring the gold into India. And now, can anyone bring the gold bar and gold coins? And that's a specific rule. If you are traveling from USA to India, so only here they say specifically that if you travel from USA to India, it is allowed. You can carry weighing below 1 kg of gold, and customs duty has to be paid. This is a very, very important. So you can bring gold bars, you can bring gold coins, but you have to pay the customs duty. But you have to come. You are permitted. That means you have to come from USA to India, and this is allowable only to resident of India. So this is a very, very important thing. So gold bars and gold coins also you can bring from USA to India. And here, whenever the travel, that is a person who comes to India, he must travel with valid passport. So that means the smuggling is not allowed. So the passport has to be issued by the Indian government authorities. That means only the resident of India, he can bring. A foreigner, he cannot bring. So this is a clear indication with this. So with this, I have whatever I want to say with reference to gold, I have explained to you. So once again, I repeat, any limit of gold ornaments and jewelry you can have at your home. And there is a ceiling with, because income tax department, you will not disturb you. In case of married women, the ceiling is half kg or 500 grams. In case of unmarried women, it is quarter kg or 250 grams per man. Irrespective of marital status, it is 100 grams. This is the thing that you have to bear in mind. You plan your gold holding at your home. This is what I want to say with this presentation, through this presentation to you. Any doubt, you are welcome. And thank you very much for the patient hearing and watching my presentation. Nandri, Vanakkam.